It is Monday, and Deb Marcello from Happier at Home is with us now for a weekly visit, and we're going to focus on this morning elder abuse. Good morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us.
Good morning. Happy Monday.
Thank you. Same to you. Same to you. Sometimes these Mondays are difficult, but when you join us, you're always a light because you've always got some great advice for us.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
And something that we don't talk about very often that we should have in the forefront of our minds all of the time is keeping an eye out for the signs of elder abuse. This is something that is very difficult to detect, and most of the time the victim is not able to or does not report it. So it's important for us as a community, family members and caregivers, to make sure you're keeping an eye out for those signs.
Well, when you first say elder abuse, my thought immediately goes to checking on your neighbors, because I feel like sometimes there's a solid relationship between neighbors, even if it's not a direct family member, but they may feel more comfortable speaking with you, the person who goes out and shovels their walk when the snow comes down the first time for the year, than they would telling their son or daughter that something is happening with whether it's a home health care aide or whether it's another one of their children, right?
Right. And this is one of those myths that perhaps the assailant is not a family member to the client or the patient. But commonly the client knows the assailant, so they know their abuser. So oftentimes it can be a family member. And it's so difficult to detect because there's not always, and usually there are not, outward physical signs. Neglect is the most common form of abuse. There's emotional abuse, there's financial exploitation, but neighbors can see the comings and goings. They see people driving in the driveway and leaving, and we just happen to notice things. So it's always nice to start those conversations with the elderly people that are in your community, maybe in your circles in different ways in your church, and just see how things are going with them at home. For every one person that reports the abuse of an elder, there are 5 more that go unreported.
Wow.
So it's really important to encourage the open conversations about these things too.
So Deb, it's not an easy discussion to have. How do you broach this topic when you think something is off?
Well, whatever that point might be, if you feel that they're being neglected and they don't have the care, or you know that they don't have the food, perhaps bringing a meal over and saying, I noticed that maybe there aren't many groceries in your cabinets, or your refrigerator's pretty empty. What's going on with that? I see your son and daughter coming and going, and, there can be even those that work with the elderly. So people at the bank that notice all of the sudden that checks are made out to cash. Or there's an additional name placed on the person's credit card or bank account, and that all of the sudden money is being drained. So having that conversation one-on-one without others present is really helpful. Where there's some difficulty is when people have cognitive impairment as well. So they're having a trusted loved one, or even if there are family members that are the perpetrators, then they need to involve lifespan, community organizations, adult protectives, so they could get the barriers, the protections set up around our older loved ones.
Absolutely.
That might include elder law attorneys and power of attorneys.
Perfect, Deb. Thank you so much. More information on foxrochester.com. Always great.